Before Federation, Australia was made up of 6 separate colonies. These colonies were so divided they resembled different countries. Each colony lived by their own laws, customs, military rules, and lifestyles. The idea of federation was not popular.
Hi, my name is Federation. Ugh, move along.
And hardly ever spoken of. Colonial politicians such as Sir Henry Parkes, Alfred Deakin, and Sir Edmund Barton played a massive role in the Federation of Australia. They became known as the Fathers of Federation. These 3 men are the main reasons Federation happened. They outstood a long-winded campaign to turn 6 colonies of 3.7 million people into one nation. Henry Parkes was born in England in 1815 and passed away in 1896. He migrated to New South Wales in 1839. He was the instigator of Federation. He strived to make Federation popular and something worth fighting for. Early on in Australia, he became politically well known. His original concern lent towards the convicts and stopping their arrival into Australia. 1858 was the year that saw Parkes become a member of New South Wales Parliament. He became extremely influential. He was re-elected 5 times throughout his career. In 1889, Sir Henry Parkes gave a very passionate, inspiring and memorable speech in Tenterfield. A famous line from the speech records Parkes saying,
"Surely what the Americans have done by war, Australians could bring about in peace." He's so inspirational!
Jolly good, jolly good. Parkes was involved in conventions and drafting of the Constitution. He passed away in 1896, 5 years before Federation. He never got to witness what he had worked so hard for.
Oh man.
Edmund Barton was born in Sydney in 1849 and passed away in 1920. He had the job title of a lawyer.
I object.
In 1879, he became a Member of Parliament. In 1889, at Tenterfield, listening to Sir Henry Parkes' speech, he became a supporter of Federation.
Yes to Federation!
Barton was an active member of the drafting process of the Constitution. He was helpful with bringing in laws to the Parliament. He toured New South Wales and spread positive words about Federation. He spent further time in London to make sure the bill was passed for the Federation of Australia. Sir Edmund Barton was appointed as the first Australian Prime Minister in 1901, the first year as one nation. He was re-elected the following year, which led to resigning in 1903, taking up the career path of a judge. Alfred Deakin was born in Melbourne in 1856. He passed away in 1919. He was a very intelligent and charismatic man, even though he tended to work in the background. He was involved in political matters and issues, however he became interested in Federation in 1890.
Federation is rather interesting.
He did a lot of work for the public, promoting Federation and gaining support. He was superb at compromising and seeing all sides of the story.
Yes, I understand.
A man of the people, he had strong positive ties with the newspaper writers and spread the word through them. He didn't just operate in Victoria, he moved around other colonies. In 1901, he was given a powerful position after Sir Edmund Barton retired in 1903. Alfred Deakin became the second Prime Minister of Australia. Between 1903 and 1910, he was elected 3 times.
1889.
Henry Parkes gives a speech at Tenterfield, declares interest for a national government.
In 1891.
National Australia Australasian Convention, the first convention. This was held in Sydney. The reason for this first convention was to consider and report about the Australian Constitution, known as One People, One Destiny.
In 1893.
The People's Convention was held in Corowa. The decision was made for a vote that needed to be taken to the Australian public.
In 1898.
The Constitution became ready for Australians to vote.
In 1899.
Prior to this year, all colonies voted yes, pro-referendum, except for Queensland and WA. In 1899, Queensland joined in and voted yes towards the Constitution and the Federation.
In 1900.
WA votes yes to the referendum for the Constitution and the Federation of Australia. Women were allowed to take part, have their say and vote in this referendum.
In 1901.
6 colonies became one nation. Sir Edmund Barton became the first Prime Minister of Australia.